Welcome back, coin fans. Today, we uncover a rare Washington quarter with no mint mark, a simple-looking coin that hides exceptional value. Collectors prize it for its mystery, beauty, and rarity, making it one of the most sought-after treasures in American coin history. First up, in the world of American coin collecting, few discoveries generate as much fascination as the 1970 D Washington quarter dollar, struck at the Denver Mint. At first glance, this coin might look like any ordinary quarter that has passed through countless hands, worn down by decades of circulation and time. But beneath the dirt, scratches, and fading luster lies a hidden treasure that captures the attention of collectors and historians alike. The 1970 D quarter, even in dirty or heavily circulated condition, holds a special place in numismatic circles because of its unique story, minting characteristics, and the mysterious value it continues to command among those who recognize its significance. It isn't just a piece of change, it's a surviving witness to a transformative era in U.S. minting history. To truly understand the importance of this coin, we must travel back to 1970, a year of immense change both in American society and in the nation's coinage system. The 1970s marked the transition from silver-based coinage to the full adoption of clad compositions, an era defined by economic adjustments, the winding down of the Vietnam War, and a renewed emphasis on efficiency at the U.S. Mint. The Denver Mint, already known for its precision and massive production runs, struck millions of quarters that year, yet only a handful stood out for their striking anomalies, minting quirks, or exceptional preservation. Many 1970 D quarters went into circulation immediately, enduring years of wear. Those that survived, especially with particular die variations or strong strikes, are now considered hidden gems, often discovered in the most unexpected places like old jars, rolls, or inherited coin boxes. When examining the 1970 D Washington quarter, the artistry of its design becomes apparent even through layers of grime. The obverse, featuring the noble bust of George Washington sculpted by John Flanagan, remains one of the most recognizable and enduring portraits in U.S. coinage. Despite years of circulation, the depth of Washington's profile, the subtle curve of his hairline, and the distinct D mint mark beneath the motto, "In God We Trust," often persist. On the reverse, the majestic bald eagle spreads its wings with a commanding presence, clutching arrows of strength and an olive branch symbolizing peace. Even in dirty or tarnished condition, the coin's balance between strength and symbolism reflects America's post-war optimism and national identity. Collectors are especially drawn to examples where the reverse details remain visible, as the Denver Mint's die quality during that era often produced strong, crisp features compared to other mints. The rarity of the 1970 D quarter doesn't come from its mintage figures alone. After all, over 417 million pieces were struck, but from how few have survived in collectible condition. Decades of circulation have stripped away the original shine, leaving behind dull surfaces and scratches. Yet, collectors have come to appreciate even dirty examples, especially those showing evidence of distinct die varieties, minting errors, or exceptional strike quality. Some coins display slightly misaligned dies, off-center strikes, or doubled details in the lettering and date, each variation pushing its desirability higher. The combination of age, circulation wear, and hidden minting oddities has turned even the most weathered examples into potential treasures worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The demand for this coin within the Washington Quarter series remains remarkably strong. Enthusiasts who collect by year and mint often place special emphasis on transitional-era coins like the 1970 D, since they represent a bridge between the old and modern American coinage systems. While the Washington Quarter series stretches back to 1932, pieces from the late 1960s and early 1970s capture an especially interesting historical period, one where metal composition, minting technology, and even national sentiment were shifting rapidly. Collectors appreciate the Denver Mint's precision and consistency, but the few imperfections and dirt-covered survivors add character and authenticity that polished examples often lack. This makes the 1970 D quarter not only valuable, but also a conversation piece, a coin that tells its own story through every nick, mark, and smudge. As for market value, a 1970 D Washington quarter can command surprising prices depending on condition, eye appeal, and any notable variety present. A typical well-worn, dirty example might sell for around $650 to $900, particularly if it still exhibits clear details and no major damage. Coins that are moderately circulated but maintain some original luster or strike sharpness can climb past $1,200 to $1,800. High-end specimens, particularly those verified by grading services with unique minting characteristics, have fetched up to $4,600 in private sales. The true charm lies in the unpredictability. Many collectors have stumbled upon ordinary-looking quarters only to discover their true worth after closer inspection or professional grading. For a coin that once held a mere 25-cent face value, the potential return is nothing short of remarkable. For those looking to hunt for this numismatic treasure, success often comes down to patience, attention to detail, and a bit of luck. Start by searching through old coin jars, inherited rolls, or estate collections where 1970s coins may have been tucked away for decades. Condition remains a key factor. Focus on coins with visible dates, readable lettering, and a distinct D mint mark. If you find one with a sharp strike or unusual doubling, have it authenticated by a reputable grading service such as PCGS or NGC. Even dirty coins should not be cleaned. Original patina can add character and preserve value. Collectors also recommend storing finds in protective holders to prevent further wear and documenting any discoveries, especially those tied to die varieties. In a series as vast and popular as the Washington Quarter, the thrill of uncovering a rare 1970 D remains a genuine highlight. The story of the 1970 D Washington Quarter dollar reminds us that rarity often hides in plain sight. What appears as an ordinary, dirty coin can in fact represent a tangible piece of American history, one that has endured generations, economic shifts, and changing times. It's a testament to how something so small can carry such immense historical and monetary weight. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just beginning your journey, the 1970 D quarter stands as a timeless reminder that treasures still circulate among us, waiting to be rediscovered. And as we turn the page to the next remarkable find, stay tuned, because the next coin we uncover might just redefine what you thought possible in the world of American numismatics. Next up, among the many fascinating coins struck in the 20th century, the 1971 D Washington Quarter dollar stands out as one of the most intriguing and unexpectedly valuable issues in the modern era of U.S. coinage. To the casual observer, it may seem like an ordinary quarter, a coin that might still turn up in everyday change, but to collectors and numismatists, it holds a deeper allure. Struck at the Denver Mint, this particular issue represents a turning point in U.S. minting history, when the nation's coinage had fully transitioned from silver to clad compositions. Yet, hidden among the millions produced, a handful of rare, high-grade survivors and error varieties have become coveted treasures. Their combination of scarcity, quality, and historical relevance has made the 1971 D quarter an icon of mid-century American coinage, commanding serious attention and serious prices on the collector market. The year 1971 marked an important chapter in American economic and monetary history. The U.S. Mint had recently completed its shift away from silver coinage, cementing the copper-nickel clad standard that began in 1965. This change was a response to the rising cost of silver, increasing industrial demand for precious metals, and a national effort to modernize coin production. The Denver Mint, operating with remarkable efficiency, struck vast quantities of circulating coins, including the Washington quarter. However, 1971 was also the year President Nixon officially ended the dollar's convertibility to gold, closing the gold window, and effectively severing the last ties between U.S. currency and precious metal backing. This context gives the 1971 D quarter a symbolic significance. It was minted at the dawn of a purely fiat era, when the concept of money itself was undergoing transformation. In this sense, it represents not only a piece of metal, but also a relic of an economic crossroads that reshaped the global financial landscape. From an artistic perspective, the 1971 D Washington quarter carries the enduring design of sculptor John Flanagan, who first created Washington's profile for the 1932 bicentennial. On the obverse, George Washington's distinguished bust faces left, framed by the inscriptions Liberty and In God We Trust, with the date and mint mark clearly visible below. The Denver Mint's D mark adds a subtle but vital identifier of origin. On the reverse, the American eagle dominates the design, wings spread wide, clutching a bundle of arrows and an olive branch, symbols of strength and peace. The balance of power and diplomacy reflected in this imagery has long made the Washington quarter a favorite among collectors. The 1971 D issues are composed of a copper-nickel outer layer bonded to a pure copper core, weighing 5.67 grams and measuring 24.3 millimeters in diameter. High-grade examples exhibit a beautiful silver-gray sheen, sharp details in the feathers and lettering, and crisp rims that elevate their visual impact. What makes the 1971 D particularly rare, however, lies not merely in its design, but in the scarcity of high-quality surviving specimens and the presence of fascinating minting anomalies. Though over 250 million pieces were struck, only a small fraction have survived in pristine, uncirculated condition. Most entered circulation immediately and endured decades of use, accumulating scratches, wear, and discoloration. A few exceptional examples, those struck from fresh dies or preserved directly from mint rolls, show remarkably strong details and nearly perfect surfaces. Even more enticing are the error varieties, such as off-center strikes, double dies, or the extremely rare wrong planchet strikes, where quarters were mistakenly minted on leftover 40% silver planchets intended for proof coins. These errors are ultra-rare and can command extraordinary premiums when authenticated. The market for the 1971 D Washington quarter has grown substantially over the past 2 decades, driven by renewed interest in modern rarities. In lower circulated grades, the coin retains minimal added value, but in mint state and above, particularly MS66, MS67, and any known variety, it becomes a prized collectible. Verified high-grade examples have sold in the range of $1,200 to $4,700, depending on luster, strike sharpness, and eye appeal. Error varieties and top population coins certified by PCGS or NGC have even achieved private sale prices approaching the upper end of that range. Demand remains steady because the 1971 D represents one of the few modern quarters that can bridge the gap between affordability and elite rarity, a coin that collectors can realistically pursue, yet few can truly possess in the highest condition. For collectors seeking to identify and secure a 1971 D quarter worth adding to their portfolio, attention to detail is everything. Start with coins showing full mint luster, sharply defined hair and eagle feather details, and minimal bag marks. Avoid cleaning or polishing, as these actions destroy natural surfaces and significantly reduce value. Having the coin certified by a top-tier grading service like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or Numismatic Guarantee Company, NGC, is essential for establishing authenticity and condition. Seasoned collectors often hunt through original mint sets, bulk rolls, or estate collections in hopes of discovering untouched examples. Proper storage, preferably in inert, airtight holders, is key to preserving both appearance and market value over time. Beyond its monetary value, the 1971 D. Washington Quarter holds deep cultural and historical resonance. It stands as a tangible reminder of a pivotal moment in America's financial evolution, representing the resilience of a nation adjusting to new realities. The artistry of its design connects generations of Americans to the ideals of liberty and strength embodied by Washington himself, while the coin's scarcity and allure remind us of the unpredictable beauty of minting history. For seasoned collectors, it embodies a chance to own a living fragment of 20th century monetary history. For newer enthusiasts, it offers a gateway into the fascinating world of numismatics, where even modern coins can carry immense historical weight. In conclusion, the 1971 D. Washington Quarter dollar is more than just a coin. It's a legacy captured in copper and nickel. Its blend of historical significance, design mastery, rarity in pristine condition, and rising collector value has cemented its status as one of the standout issues of the post-silver era. As more collectors discover the hidden potential of this Denver-minted beauty, demand continues to outpace supply, ensuring that its prestige and price will only grow over time. Whether admired for its craftsmanship, cherished for its story, or pursued for investment, the 1971 D. Quarter remains a shining symbol of American numismatic history, proof that true value often lies in the details most overlooked. Next up, among the many remarkable issues in the Washington Quarter series, the 1972 D. Washington Quarter dollar holds a special position for its subtle yet fascinating rarity, historical significance, and growing appeal among collectors. Struck at the Denver Mint during a period of rapid economic change, this coin may appear commonplace at first glance, yet the story it tells through its metal, design, and preservation reveals why it has become a prized possession in the numismatic community. Collectors today seek it not only for its connection to a key era in U.S. minting, but also for the surprising variations and ultra-rare high-grade examples that have surfaced over time. Its importance in modern collecting circles continues to grow, driven by increasing recognition of its condition rarity and the enduring legacy of the Washington Quarter series, which remains one of the most beloved in American coinage. The 1972 D. Washington Quarter was minted during a pivotal period in United States history, when the nation was undergoing dramatic transitions in both economy and identity. The early 1970s were marked by inflation, the aftershocks of the Vietnam War, and an evolving sense of American pride amid uncertainty. Coin production reflected these shifts. Metals like silver had long disappeared from circulation, replaced by cost-effective copper-nickel-clad compositions. The Denver Mint, operating as one of the country's most productive facilities, struck hundreds of millions of quarters that year to meet public demand for circulating currency. Yet, even within such massive production, the 1972 D emerged as a coin of intrigue. Its position within the Washington series, then 4 decades strong, symbolized both continuity and change, the nation's steady traditions balanced against a modernizing world economy. This coin, minted in the heart of Colorado, captured that delicate intersection of heritage and progress. From a design perspective, the 1972 D. Washington Quarter remains a masterpiece of simplicity and symbolism. The obverse continues to feature John Flanagan's dignified bust of George Washington, modeled after Jean Antoine Houdon's neoclassical sculpture from 1786. The design radiates authority and calm strength, traits that have defined America's first president as an enduring national symbol. The inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" frame Washington's portrait, while the date 1972 rests below, accompanied by the small but significant D mint mark denoting Denver. The reverse, depicting a bald eagle clutching arrows and an olive branch, reflects the duality of American power, prepared for defense, yet striving for peace. Struck in copper nickel over a pure copper core, the coin weighs 5.67 grams and measures 24.3 millimeters in diameter. High-grade specimens display a brilliant metallic sheen, with razor-sharp details in the eagle's feathers and Washington's hairline, standing as testaments to superior minting and preservation. While millions of 1972 D quarters were struck, the rarity lies not in sheer numbers but in exceptional condition and unique die varieties. Most circulated extensively, suffering from wear and contact marks that diminished their sharpness and luster. However, a small number of uncirculated pieces survived, tucked away in mint rolls or sealed sets, retaining their original brilliance. Among these, a few display fascinating mint errors, such as doubled die obverses, die cracks, and misaligned strikes, that make them exceedingly rare and valuable. Because the Denver Mint's production focus in 1972 was heavily on quantity, perfect strikes were less common than earlier years, meaning that finding a coin with full detail and minimal flaws has become a serious challenge. Collectors prize examples with strong eagle feathers, full rim definition, and deep reflective surfaces, as these characteristics sharply increase the coin's appeal and market value. Over time, the market value of the 1972 D Washington quarter has seen a steady rise, especially for coins that remain in mint state 66 or higher. A clean, lustrous example with minimal contact marks can fetch around $800 to $1,500, while top-tier certified specimens graded MS-67 have reached auction prices near $4,300. Error varieties, especially doubled dies or coins struck on transitional planchets, can command even more depending on rarity and eye appeal. Much of this appreciation is driven by the growing popularity of the Washington Quarter Registry, sets maintained by collectors through grading companies like PCGS and NGC, where competition for top-ranked examples has pushed values upward. The 1972 D's combination of low population and high grades, historical timing, and subtle design charm continues to sustain strong market interest, marking it as a standout issue among post-1960 quarters. For collectors hopping to acquire or identify a high-quality 1972 D quarter, attention to fine details is crucial. Seek out coins with sharp definition in Washington's hair, strong lettering, and an unblemished mint mark. Luster should be bright and consistent, without signs of cleaning or polishing. Certification is especially important. Slabbed coins not only confirm authenticity but also stabilize long-term value in the marketplace. Reputable auction houses and established dealers remain the best sources for finding premium examples, while estate collections or sealed mint rolls can still yield pleasant surprises. Proper storage, using acid-free holders or airtight capsules, is vital to preserve surface integrity, preventing oxidation and moisture damage that can erode both condition and value over time. Beyond its physical beauty and financial worth, the 1972 D Washington quarter carries symbolic weight as a piece of American identity. It reflects the industrial efficiency of the Denver Mint, the resilience of the Washington design, and the economic pragmatism of its era. The coin bridges the divide between an age of silver coinage and the modern era of base metal circulation, making it an essential link in any historical collection. It also demonstrates how even seemingly common coins can become treasures through careful preservation and time, reminding collectors that rarity is not always about mintage, but survival and quality. In the end, the 1972 D Washington quarter dollar is more than a simple relic of commerce. It is a quiet masterpiece of American minting history. Its blend of classic design, transitional context, and increasing rarity and pristine form ensures that it remains a centerpiece for modern numismatists. Whether pursued for its beauty, historical resonance, or investment promise, this Denver-minted quarter embodies the timeless truth of coin collecting. That value lies as much in the story as in the metal itself. As interest in modern-era rarities continues to grow, the 1972 D quarter's prestige will only deepen, cementing its place among the most distinguished coins of its generation. Next up, among the many fascinating pieces in the Washington Quarter series, the 1973 Washington Quarter without mint mark has risen to become a remarkable standout, an unassuming yet ultra-rare treasure in modern American coinage. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, this coin is highly sought after for its precision, history, and scarcity in pristine condition. While it lacks the mint mark found on its Denver and San Francisco counterparts, this small omission is what gives it its distinct identity. To most people, the coin may appear as just another piece of spare change, but to collectors, it represents a window into a time when U.S. coin production was evolving and refining its standards. Today, high-grade examples of the 1973 no-mint mark quarter are increasingly difficult to find, making them one of the most desirable modern-era Washington quarters in existence. The year 1973 was an important chapter in both American history and numismatic development. The U.S. economy was facing major changes: rising inflation, the end of the Vietnam War, and the aftershocks of the Nixon administration's monetary policies. The Washington Quarter, by this time, had been struck continuously for over 4 decades, serving as a stable representation of national identity during uncertain times. The Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not use a mint mark on its coins during this era, produced millions of quarters that year to meet the country's growing circulation needs. However, quality control and die wear during this period resulted in uneven strikes and inconsistent detailing, which makes sharply struck, well-preserved examples especially rare today. The 1973 issue bridged the gap between the older production techniques of the 1960s and the more modern processes that would dominate by the late 1970s, cementing its place in the evolution of U.S. coinage. From a design standpoint, the 1973 Washington Quarter continues to embody the timeless artistry of John Flanagan's original 1932 design. The obverse features the distinguished bust of George Washington facing left, his expression resolute and commanding. Above him appears the word Liberty, with "In God We Trust" inscribed to the left, and the date 1973 below. The absence of a mint mark indicates it was struck in Philadelphia. On the reverse, a majestic eagle spreads its wings wide, perched upon a bundle of arrows, a symbol of defense, while clutching an olive branch that represents peace. The inscriptions United States of America and EPLURIBUSUNUM encircle the top, with $quarter below. Struck in copper-nickel-clad composition over a pure copper core, the coin measures 24.3 millimeters in diameter and weighs 5.67 grams. When well preserved, the coin glows with a subtle silver-gray hue and displays sharply defined details that reflect the craftsmanship of its minting era. The rarity of the 1973 no-mint mark quarter lies primarily in its survival in top condition rather than in its mintage numbers. While over 350 million quarters were produced at the Philadelphia Mint that year, most went straight into circulation and suffered decades of wear. The few that remained in mint state condition, either preserved in rolls, mint sets, or by chance, are now highly prized by collectors. Coins with full luster, minimal bag marks, and strong detail in Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers are extremely difficult to find. The Philadelphia Mint's quality control in 1973 was variable, and weak strikes are common, which makes fully detailed examples even more exceptional. Uncirculated coins with razor-sharp definition and frosty surfaces are considered condition rarities, with population reports showing only a handful achieving grades of MS 66 or higher. In today's market, the 1973 Washington Quarter without mint mark commands impressive value among collectors who focus on modern series. Circulated coins hold nominal worth, but high-grade uncirculated specimens can bring around $700 to $1,400, depending on strike quality and luster. Certified mint state 66 examples have sold for upwards of $3,600, while rare high-end pieces with extraordinary eye appeal have approached $4,900 in private auctions. Rarer varieties, such as double dies or off-center strikes, can raise these figures even further. The market for these coins continues to strengthen as more collectors turn their attention toward modern-era rarities that have been historically undervalued compared to older silver issues. The combination of historical context, artistic continuity, and condition scarcity has given this quarter a well-deserved place among the most respected Washington quarters of its generation. For collectors seeking to identify and secure a valuable 1973 no-mint mark quarter, close inspection and professional authentication are key. Look for examples with crisp details in Washington's portrait and the eagle's wings, areas where strike weakness commonly occurs. Avoid coins that have been cleaned, polished, or artificially brightened, as such alterations destroy the coin's natural surfaces and drastically reduce its worth. Submitting the coin to a reputable grading service such as PCGS or NGC not only confirms authenticity, but also provides official certification of condition, which is critical for establishing market value. Collectors should store these coins in airtight holders or capsules to prevent tarnish and environmental damage, ensuring that the delicate luster remains intact for future appreciation. Beyond its tangible value, the 1973 Washington Quarter without mint mark serves as a historical marker of America's transition into the modern monetary age. It symbolizes stability in a decade of change, a small, familiar object circulating during years of social and economic turbulence. The design's enduring presence reminds collectors of the importance of continuity in American culture, while the scarcity of pristine examples demonstrates how rarity often arises from ordinary beginnings. Every scratch-free, sharply struck coin from 1973 represents a survivor of time and commerce, a testament to the hidden treasures still lurking in plain sight among common change. In conclusion, the 1973 no-mint mark Washington Quarter stands as a brilliant example of how history, artistry, and rarity can converge in a single coin. Its subtle elegance, historical depth, and growing collector appeal make it one of the most exciting modern-era quarters to own. As more collectors recognize the value of high-grade clad coinage, demand for exceptional examples of the 1973 Philadelphia issue continues to rise. Whether cherished as a symbol of American resilience or sought as a long-term investment, this coin captures the enduring power of numismatic history, proving once again that true rarity is often hidden within the familiar.